Well, said I was excited to have Jake Serezna on last hour. As excited or more so now, John Ryan joins us, the man with a Hall of Fame resume, Super Bowl champion punter, CFL All-Star, and newly retired. How's retirement life, JR?
It's been busy so far. I own part of 3 different minor league baseball teams. So up until about a week ago, I was probably more busy in retirement than I was playing football, but it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, I got you. Well, I'm glad. A guy like you can't just sit around. But I think the very first question I should have had for you was, how was the 10-year anniversary of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks? Looks like you guys had a big time there in the Emerald City.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I can't believe it's been 10 years already. But the Seahawks did a great job. They had the entire team back, as many guys that could make it. It was just great to catch up with the guys again. A lot of those guys I haven't seen in almost 10 years. So it was just great to see them again, catch up, tell old stories, get back into old arguments that probably started a decade ago. It just felt like we were stepping right back in the locker room again.
Well, you know what? You got some great stories about that particular game. It was in New York, right? It was cold. The Super Bowl that you won. We'll talk about the one that you lost in a second. But you got some great stories, man. Like I remember you saying, coming out of the locker room at halftime, and the announcer said it was the largest score, halftime lead in Super Bowl history. You talk about that day, if you don't mind, and what you remember.
It was wild. And really, not only that day, just the 2 weeks leading up to it is the most uncomfortable 2 weeks of my life, to be honest. It was exciting, and there was a lot going on, but it was just so far outside of your normal comfort zone of what you do to prepare for a football game with everything going on. And really, the first time I felt comfortable for that entire 2 weeks was the day I stepped on the field. You know, right when I stepped on the field for warm-ups, I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. I'm used to this. I'm not used to all the other stuff that happened earlier, but now I'm used to this. And yeah, it was just such a memorable day. It helped the stress levels a little bit, jumping up 22-0 by halftime, and then returning the opening kick in the start of the third quarter, go up 29-0. We kind of knew there was a guy named Peyton Manning on the other side of the field, so no lead was really safe, but when you had 29 points, it was pretty hard to overcome. We rode that into a 43-8 win that day.
Yeah, life-changing, I'm sure. And then, of course, I just saw the other day that Pete Carroll finally addressed the call at the end of the game in the ensuing Super Bowl. Talk about the one that you lost, if you don't mind. You probably think about that more than the one that you won.
Yeah, I mean, going back, the very next year was obviously it's hard to do, and we did feel a little bit more comfortable that year, and also not having to worry about the weather, playing in Arizona. It's a pretty nice place to play, and it was just a great football game. It was a really good football game, and I can appreciate that. It looked like it was going to go our way right up until about 25 seconds left when the famous second and 1 pass. Didn't go our way whatsoever. So that was painful. We even talked about that to a lot of the guys that were there this past weekend. We kind of all thanked our lucky stars that we won the year before, because if we hadn't, we would have been dwelling on that one for a really long time. Not that we aren't still, but not as bad as it could have been.
What did Coach Carroll say about it afterwards? I saw the headline that he spoke about it, but did he say that we blew it, or what did he say about it? Do you know?
I do know. And I've been kind of preaching this for a long time with just basic 4-minute offense. You want to make sure every down is available to you. So second or third down was going to be a pass. That's just the way it goes with the amount of timeouts we had left and the position on the field it was. I don't agree with where we threw the ball. I don't think you should keep it in the middle of the field. I think you should threw a fade route or something like that. But it was a passing down. I mean, people don't understand that, but that's just part of the basics of a 4-minute offense. You have to make sure every down is available to you. And I think I don't know exactly what Pete said. I'm sure it's something similar to that he came out and said, because that's how we looked at it in the locker room. We weren't happy about it, but we understood that was a passing down.
I don't know if I ever asked you this, but you talk about the 2-week lead up to Super Bowl. Were you at least able to spend a night or two in your own bed in Arizona at that Super Bowl, or did you stay in the team hotel the whole time?
I was. When we got in on, I believe it was Sunday, the Monday was going to be our day off, and then our media day later on in the day. So I was able to, spend one night in my own bed before I had to go to the team facility. So that was nice just to get away from all the commotion of everything and just kind of feel normal for one night.
Yeah, I don't doubt it at all. And we did used to sit back and talk about you ending your career in the CFL. I never actually thought it would happen, but it did. You weren't able to add a Grey Cup to the trophy case, but you did kind of accomplish what you wanted. And we haven't talked about this. How are you with the footnote, the post NFL part of your resume?
I'm very happy with it. I've always kind of done things on my own terms and did things the way I wanted to do it. So I know a lot of people would have said that it was kind of maybe a little bit ridiculous that I go back in the CFL and play for peanuts for 3 or 4 years, but I didn't see it that way at all. I got to play in my hometown. I got to play in Regina. A kid that grew up there, season ticket holder since 1990 until the day I was drafted in 2004. It was kind of always a dream to go back there and play for the Roughriders. And I had Bob Poley, the polecat, who you're familiar with, former Rough Rider. He told me when I was about 23 years old, he said, "John, play as long as you possibly can and then play one more year." And that's what I did. And that's why I went back and played that one last year with Edmonton. We didn't have a great record, but I had an absolutely phenomenal time, and I went out exactly how I wanted to. So no regrets, and I'm pretty happy with the post career, how it went.
Good. Funny you say that, though, because Poley's last year was with Don Matthews was the head coach, and Poley didn't have to even practice. Man, maybe he told you that. It was like, show up and snap the ball. Did you have that deal in Edmonton? Did Jones make you practice the last year?
Oh, hell yeah, he did. Yes, he did. But it was funny because I had that conversation with Poley. I was back in a Rider game, the Alumni Lounge. Sorry. And he was telling me that he had a pretty good year that year. His job was to go get pizza for the boys on Fridays, I think, and just pretty much show up for games and hang out with the boys and have beers and eat pizza. So it sounded a little bit more fun than my last year, but I also had a lot of fun.
Right. Different era. I think they might have still been smoking in the locker room back then. So aside from owning those 3 teams, what else are you doing?
Just back here in LA as much as I can be. And I was, for the last decade with my wife Sarah. We didn't get to spend a whole lot of time together all the time. It was more of an off-season thing and a weekend here or there during the season. So now we have to spend a lot more time together, and it's been really great.
I like to see that. I mean, we got to get her on again. Because as you know,
absolutely,
you're funny, but she makes a living out of it. And what was her take of the Seahawks reunion? Because you guys just started dating like that week, did you not, of that Seahawks Super Bowl?
Her and I literally started talking the week of that Super Bowl. And I told her I'd love to take her on a date, but I was a little busy because I had to play in the Super Bowl on Sunday, which is a great line that not many people can use. So I thought I could use it, so I used it. And then she had a lot of fun at the reunion too. She caught up with a lot of people. We have a lot of friends there that are not football related people. We have to catch up with them, and just a great time getting back to that city.
Well, let me just ask you this, and this is not as much interview as it just you and me rapping, but you heard me talk about that sports card convention. They don't in Red Deer, they don't do it in Canada like they do it in the States. You know that. But would you be, like hitting those things seems a lot of fun. A lot of athletes do. Would you be up for doing stuff like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been doing a few things here or there. Kind of nice. I know some of my former teammates have to do that stuff, and I get to do that stuff. So it's a bit different position for some guys, but I always like getting back out with the fans. It seems actually easier to be with the fans now that you're away from the game than actually when you were in it. So you don't have to ask questions about what you did last weekend. You get to talk about the glory days from years behind you, which is a lot more fun. So yeah, I'm definitely up for any of that.
Okay, cool. Well, and the last thing, I don't know when I'm going to see you again, other than maybe this interview, but like an interview down the line. But the viewers don't know. You have roughly nieces and nephews 1 million? Like, they thought it was pretty cool
there
to go down and watch Uncle John and not have to get on a plane to go watch Uncle John, to just drive down Elphinstone Street and go watch all those 9 Ryan jerseys. That had to be cool, man. What was that like?
That was really a huge part of why I wanted to do it. I have 12 nieces and nephews from my 3 siblings, and a lot of them had never seen me play in person before. A few of them had come to Seattle for, a game a year. Even in my brothers and sisters, my mom too. They'd all kind of come for a game or two a year. And when I was playing in Regina, they got to see me every week. To look up and see 12 of my nieces and nephews all in number 9 jerseys. It's pretty special, and it was definitely one of the reasons why I came back.
Yeah, I just watched it from afar, and I'm like, this is just so awesome. And I guess lastly, what is up on the entertainment front of your lovely wife, Sarah Colonna? I loved the Shameless show. So what was the name of the show? Salacious? What was it?
Insatiable on Netflix.
Right.
Yeah.
It got weird near the end. They all do. What's up on her career docket right now?
Well, it's the Screen Actors Guild and the actors have been on strike for a number of months now, and I think the Screen Actors Guild is just getting back to work now. So she hasn't had a lot other than her podcast, Are You My Podcast, and she's still touring. She's in Tacoma in a couple of weeks here, so she's staying busy with that. But now the acting and the writing will come back right away too. So she's looking forward to that.
Good stuff. Well, enjoy what's left of the break, John. Appreciate the time here today. Please give her my best, your whole family, and enjoy retirement, sir.
Thanks, Rod. Good to see you.
Good to see you.